We're going to stop talking about gaming news and around. We're going to still talk about some Amazon cloud wars. We're going to talk about Amazon attempting to dethrone Microsoft 365, as the article reads. This is actually from WindowsCentral.com. That's not a Microsoft site. They just, they pro Windows, but
Microsoftish.
Yeah, they Microsoftish, but they basically talking about how they believe Amazon is in a position. They compete with a lot of companies. The FANG companies compete with each other. They, even though when they act like they not competing, Amazon compete with Microsoft. They compete with Google. They compete with Facebook, and different markets, different industries, whether it's like ads or whatever. But when it comes to productivity, Microsoft has always had the lead. They basically had the lead since the mid '80s.
That's yeah.
I mean, and like that was that was the thing. That was the Lotus was happening at one point, and then Microsoft said, "We got Word, we got spreadsheets," and then they just kept flying with that for like the last 30 something years. And Google has G Suite. They try to compete. They compete. They do really well, actually. I'm a big G Suite guy. I love G Suite. Where I'm at now, this new little place I got has me in a Microsoft world. So I'm kind of, like I used to be Microsoft back in like 2005, 6, doing the whole MCIC stuff and all that stuff. But like I dropped out for a minute when I went to the Linux world. But I guess this is a more corporate environment, and everything's Microsoft. Everything is Microsoft.
Gotta get your hotkeys right, man.
Yeah, I gotta figure that all out because I get lost in Outlook quick, and that's a shame. I'll be like, oh, where is my email?
It's all good, bro. Listen, this was interesting about my. I know we probably going off a little bit, but like when it comes to that, I'll be losing stuff in Outlook too, and I'm using Microsoft. I'm like, they always got something changing in Outlook. It's like, where the search bar at? I need to search.
I never lost anything all the times that I use G Suite because the search, even if you don't categorize it, catalog it, whatever, you can find it because Google's got search.
Yeah, I mean, so if you look up Google in the dictionary, it's going to search.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like I could always find an email with Office 365. It's kind of iffy, but it's whatever. But nonetheless, like with Office 365, they run the gambit, and it's not just Office 365, it's just Office in general, whether it's the desktop version or the cloud version. They're trying to get everybody into the cloud, but in the transition, people buying both. They be like, yo, I'll wear the desktop or the online version. Just give me Office. I don't even care if it worked the same or not. As long as it say Office, then I'm good. I try to get so many people on G Suite, like, yo, it do the same thing.
And it's free.
Yeah. But because it don't say Office, they be like, yo, I don't know how to do it. But
sweet. What?
Office 365 for the longest time didn't do the same thing as desktop Office. But people just transitioned like it wasn't up and they ain't cared. It was like, yo, as long as I got Office, I got Office. It don't matter. It say Office. I mean, and that's kind of the hard thing. Is like, how do you? It's the mind share. It's what they call the mind share, where you got these people's heads wrapped, and you're like, yo, you need Office. You don't even know why you need Office. You only need it for like 0.5% of what Office can do.
Right.
But you need it. You need it every year. You need to buy every subscription every year because you need to be able to unline or do a strikeout in a certain way.
People get the whole Office just for Microsoft Word. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Ain't even about like I really feel like I want to look at the statistics on it. I don't think it's people because it's different software out there that make better PowerPoints, better spreadsheets.
Yeah.
But people just like because they need that word that word. They like, man, give me the whole thing, man. Give me that one note, all and they had the whole brochure joint.
Yeah,
that's all a part of it that people paying for. But it's like I need Word.
Ain't nothing. It said they had 2019. It still say new under the icon. I mean, I ain't never click on it and open it. I mean, but it ain't been installed for 2 years because all they use is Word. I mean, but Amazon. This article is really trying to talk. I don't really think that Amazon can do it, but they talking about getting in the business of it, and they talking about the idea. Yeah, I mean, talking about dethroning
Yeah.
Office 365. That's
That
a
may be
big
good
feat.
copy. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I mean, there's another. It's cool to have another option, but you really gotta be able to be on ball to knock Microsoft Office off the
Yeah.
tilt. Like people don't even care about Windows.
Right.
You just need Office. I
They
mean,
get
I
the
don't give a got
MacBook and
Mac.
be like, yo, I need to get Office.
Yeah, I mean, I need Office. I need Office. I mean, and it don't matter. They need Office, and you really you gotta get in somebody's heart to be able to convince them otherwise. That's why I like, that Trojan horse that Google does by getting all these schools on it.
Mhm.
I mean, on getting all the schools on Office on G Suite. It makes it so that when they grow up, go to college, high school, become adults or whatever, they like to continue using G Suite. And they got the mind share, and that's the mind share. And, you got it ingrained in you. Like you gotta want to change your path. Like I wanted to get off of Office.
He had a driving factor. I can't do this no more.
I was Open Office for the longest. Like I will not get MS Office, and I hated Open Office. I was just like, it's better than paying Microsoft for this one little feature. Yeah, I mean, and G Suite fulfilled that need, and they got the mind share for a lot of people when it comes to schools, particularly public schools.
Especially during the COVID times, yeah, they definitely.
Especially during COVID times, yeah. But like Amazon, they got to do that same thing. You got to get into somebody's heart to be able to make them transition. Ain't nobody going to just transition, especially when you got two options. You got Microsoft and you got Google.
Yeah.
Like this article completely dismisses Google's efforts.
Right.
Like, it don't even talk about the fact that Google is killing it. Like they number two, and
they're solid number two. That's what it is.
They're solid number two, and that means a lot. Yeah, I mean, like, and you can't just dismiss that. But they said, they do say in this article, the idea of Amazon's potentially just stating rebel alliance of Microsoft's rivals. Essentially, they think that if they can get Dropbox, Salesforce, and Slack together, then they will have enough of a driving force to try to push against Microsoft. But first, you gotta get them together.
And I was gonna say, you look at all them apps they named. I feel like you can argue that Microsoft has a service that, if not rivals, is by consensus better than those apps. So it's like you're trying to get all these apps together, and try to deliver that. It goes back to that article we did, back in the day. It was we were talking about the argument they was having over the government contracting. Yeah, and Amazon was mad because they was like, they said that something about how they tried to blame it on Trump, saying the reason why they couldn't get it was because
Trump the hater.
Trump the hater, and he was promoting Microsoft, and it's like, nah, that's not it. It's just when it comes to not only just the people, right? Because we were talking about on the consumer side, as far as your average person, right, mm-hmm. who maybe even working or either does something on the side, whatever the case is, that uses that. But then you have Microsoft that, of course, is tied in to the government. Right, so when it comes to that, it's like you talking about they going to dethrone them with that. It's like, man,
like
the people that working on silent,
yes,
all right, we've been working. That means we've been working in Office for years. Like we going to suddenly stop using Office at the U.S. Department of Energy. We're going to stop using Office just because of, right.
You want us to stop using Office because of Bezos? Get your face out of here. Yeah, give me Office 365.
Right, give me that Office, man. Get Bill over here. That's what it is. But I think it's so interesting because I think that what's maybe pushing them to think they're able to do this is because, even though Microsoft, I think, is holding it together within this time frame, a lot of these companies are in a frenzy, right? There's a lot of fires just having to be put out on the gaming side, right? And then within certain other parts of maybe projects that other companies are working on that's flopped or not doing so good, like with the of course, Apple. The only thing they're really good for is just the indoctrination methods, right? They're in a bad spot now because they got the whole thing with the chips not being a process, not being available over there, So I think what happens is companies, they see that the whole, it's a whole several bulls in one arena just fighting, going at each other, and it's like somebody wants to be the one to stand out and do something, but it's like, you know, you got to make sure you got horns for this fight, man. Like, you just because you see a whole bunch of tussling and fumbling, you think, all right, well, because I can stand back, I got a little more sense than that. All the other bulls, I'm gonna be good, I'm gonna win. Nah, you gotta have the fight in you. You gotta have the tools. And like right now, that's what I'm saying. They talking about here that they gotta get all these assets. I'm like, y'all don't have you have great cloud services, no doubt. You have that, but all those other facets of technology, you all don't have that, honestly.
Right.
So I don't know.
And that's the thing. Like, Amazon is killing it. They're ahead of Microsoft and Google with the cloud, AWS, by like miles. So for them to want to transition over, like, that's as far ahead as Microsoft is with Office. Amazon is ahead with AWS right now, and those are the lanes that you want to make sure you perfect before you transition over and try to do something else. I believe, Amazon probably is really if they would do this, they would get into it just to have a dog in the fight. But they're going to have a dog in the fight knowing that their dog is going to probably lose damn near every fight. I mean, they're going to put the dog in there just so he exists, knowing that he's going to get his ass beat every week.
Right, they want their name on the board. That's what it is.
That's what they really. If they would do it, it would be just to have their name available, because they can't win that fight. Because every time they try to punch at Microsoft, they'll forget that Google going to knock them out too, because Google's still there, and like you got to fight for that too. Like, in order to, if you number 3, if you want to get number 1, you got to go through number 2.
Right.
And like,
you're like number 6, man.
Yeah, and right now you ain't even on the board. I mean, because like I say, Dropbox is its own Office service. They got their own productivity suite because they got file sharing. Yeah. So for file sharing, you can edit files directly in it. You got to compete against Dropbox if you don't just buy Dropbox, and that's not really where it's at. I don't know. I don't see them really doing that move that way, but they might. They might. I mean, they got enough money there to do a lot of things.
I think that's the thing. At the end of the day, you got to think that they may be able to just fumble their way into it just because they got money to blow. Like, because they got bread, they like, we'll blow, 50 billion on trying to get into this because we want to make 65 back. All right.
Exactly. And that's why I see it. It's like, that's what I say. They'll get into it to be just to be there, like get their name on the board.